What's up YouTube? I'm John from John's Daily Hustle. So you guys may have seen my Saturday video on how I'm restructuring my business. So let's talk about what I'm going to do with my equipment. Some of it is staying, some of it might be going. I have a lot of equipment as you guys know. But one of the upgrades I'm looking at doing is restructuring my business, is trying to become more efficient and have just the right setup for every job or every way possible I need, or every task needed. And not quite have equipment just sitting in my garage here all summer long not being used, because I feel like that's just a sitting asset. You guys will have to forgive me in my garage. It's pretty dirty, not quite dirty, but cluttered. I was working on cleaning up and then the snow came and dealing with all that crap. So I'm working on getting it cleaned up and getting it more organized. Alright, so let's start this baby off. You guys know this little mower here was the one I got for free at one of the junk removals I did. It's going to be sold most likely. I'm probably going to sell it come springtime. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It fires right up. So this one wasn't really even in my fleet, but of course it's in my garage, so we're going to sell it. However, this Craftsman 21-inch push mower was in my fleet. I was using it for the smaller yards if it ever needed to be bagged. So I used this and my pain in the ass 33-inch Troy build over here. So this and that push mower back there was for the smaller yards or the gated yards. I try not to push mow if I don't have to. If I have to push mow, I'd rather use this, but sometimes doing like leaf cleanups and collecting the tall, thick grass, I have that bagger, as you guys know. This is only a mulching deck only. So as of right now, my plan is I'm getting rid of both of those mowers for sure. I want to get rid of them. That one's kind of small, that push mower. I don't like push mowing. And you guys know this one was what actually started my business. I actually put ramps up on the truck. Thanks, David, for letting me borrow your ramps. I put them up into the bed of my truck and I'd ride that up, or push it up in there. And that's what snowballed my business. I got it going off of that. But it has been a pain in the ass ever since. It's a very old mower. It's a 98 model mower. It's a really good mower at its time, but its time is long overdue. It's time to retire this baby, especially for commercial use. Now, it doesn't get used that much, so you might be thinking, well, what's really wrong with it? Why does it being old matter? Well, not only is the motor super underpowered, it's only an 8 horsepower on a 33-inch deck, and my push mower back there is actually a 6.75 horsepower motor on a 21-inch deck, and it cuts way better than this one does. As well as the biggest problem I have with this motor. The biggest problem I have with this mower is because it's so old, it's very hard to find parts for. So like the belts that are underneath there, the blades themselves, just parts in general for it are very hard to find. Lord forbid something big goes out like the little transmission it has on it down there. It's almost impossible to find and it's expensive. I think the only place I could find the blades for it, they want almost like $50 a piece, which is $100 because there's 2 blades on it, just for blades for this, and it doesn't get used that much. Right now, I'm either going to try and find the Exmark 30-inch push mower or the Toro 30-inch push mower, or I'm actually looking at buying the Cub Cadet version of this mower. It's brand new, you can find parts for it. It's only $1,300 brand new. It's a 33-inch, and I have some reasons why I'm looking for that one specifically, but we'll get into that in a later video if I do buy it. Either way, I only want to have one mower as my small mower, and the benefit of all 3 of those mowers I just said is they can all side discharge, they can all mulch, and they can all bag as well. So I don't have to have 2 different mowers and just have several different attachments for it. Like I've got the bagger there, and this is mulching only. As well as I know that I can find parts for them. And that's a big thing. Like I said, one of the things I struggled with a lot of old equipment that I have this year is finding parts for it is very hard and very frustrating. They also have that new Skag 30-inch coming out this year. I'm not sure what time of the year it's going to come out, but if it comes out for the springtime, I might actually be interested in getting that, especially since 3 of my Exmark dealers that I have near here are also Skag dealers as well. So it's not like I have to go very far to get extra parts for it. So I haven't rolled out Skag yet either, but I need to see more about it and learn more about it. And the price has to be right on that, because that's the other thing I'm also doing is I'm kind of price shopping here. I already know what the price is for the Cub Cadet 33-inch, and I already know what the price is for the Toro and the Exmark. So like I said, the Skag price is going to be just right, or it's going to have to offer just a little bit more over the Exmark and Toro and Cub Cadet for me to consider it. So moving on to the next pain in the ass. As you guys know, I got this zero turn for free. You guys can check that out and see everything that was wrong with it. It was quite a pain in the butt. It was my first zero turn, so it really got my business going after my business snowballed with that mower. I needed this for my apartment complex that I mow and all the other bigger properties, because I actually did a lot of bigger properties this year that I needed a bigger mower. Well, after this blew up, it had to be, I didn't have enough time to get parts for it, and the pandemic hit, so trying to get parts became a little bit harder as all the warehouses were shutting down. So of course you guys know I went and bought this mower to replace it. So now all I use this mower for is a second backup zero turn. And really, this mower here, the new one, has a really good warranty on it, and it's still a very good mower, knock on metal, you know, I'm not trying to jinx myself. For the longest time, I wasn't able to run 2 zero turns because I didn't have a trailer big enough. But then, of course, well, you guys haven't seen the video yet. We fabricated my trailer to make it fit both this zero turn and that zero turn. And one of the last few times we actually went and mowed our big apartment complex, we actually took 2 zero turns out there and knocked it out pretty quickly, but I had went a day in advance and had weed eated the whole place. So we were able to save quite a lot of time there by running the 2 zero turns. But other than that, I actually take that zero turn, I put it out on some of the crappier properties to where I'm not ruining my perfectly good brand new zero turn, or at least potentially damaging it anyways. I'd rather break that one than my new one. Those are really the only times that it ever got used. Other than that, it pretty much just sits here and the battery goes dead, or starts to die anyways. I have to start it every few weeks just to keep it running. So it is high on my list to get rid of, as it's just sitting here. And yeah, it makes a good backup zero turn, but I'll get to my backup mower, whichever I'm going to do here eventually. But right now, it's just not needed. Plus, the way I'm restructuring my business for next year, I plan on having a nice little leadway there for jobs, I guess you can say. I'm not going to be cramming as much as I can into 7 days a week and fall behind. I'm going to be very structured on, okay, I'm going to mow Monday through Thursday and have Friday for a service day and have all Saturday and Sunday. Or, you know, something like that. Or maybe even more 3 days, whatever I can do to have a leadway there for both weather and breakdowns. To where if this mower does break down and I don't have a backup mower to finish, it'll be okay. I'm not going to be in that big of a pickle, I guess you can say. Now, on to this pain in the ass. So I have not released a video yet of the review on it or the reason why I hate this mower. Now, this is actually a really good mower. I mean, I promise you this thing's a tank. It's a beast. It will cut almost just as good as that one will. Not quite, you know, X mark, but it cuts pretty damn good for a Bobcat mower and being old it is. However, once again, this mower is old, so trying to find parts for this mower is even harder than trying to find parts for this mower. As well as a few other things, such as one, this thing hurts to run all day. Of course, next year, I'll not be mowing the apartment complex next year. As of right now, I'm saying no, but I am going to put a bid in on it. If I get that bid, I'll be really surprised because it's going way up. But as of right now, I'm not getting it, so I don't necessarily need to have 2 main mowers. As well as you guys know, I bought this mower specifically for the incline around the drainage ditch because my residential Quest back here couldn't do it. But this mower will do pretty steep inclines pretty well on it, or at least it did the ditches good enough anyway. So even if I do get rid of this, I can still cut it with that. Now again, you guys will see in a later video as to why I really don't like running this mower. To give you a little hint, this mower is absolutely dangerous, so I don't feel comfortable letting somebody else run it. So leading into next year, if I don't feel comfortable putting somebody else on it, like a helper on it, I don't want it. I want to have all good equipment that I feel safe putting my nephew on it, or, you know, my wife on it, or something like that, to where they can run it in case they have to, and I'm out weed eating, or, you know, who knows, maybe next year, part of my restructuring, I might not need help because of the way I'm structuring my business and the areas that I'm looking at getting. Leading on to some other equipment, the cyclone rake. As you guys know, this thing is a beast. I absolutely love it. It is on the lower powered side, but it does just fine for me. Now, I am actually looking at getting rid of this and going just one main bagger system for my mower. If this is, let's just say this is the mower that I'm going to run mainly, I'm going to have a bagging system for it. So as of right now, I'm going to get one of those baggers, not accelerated bagger like I have there, but I mean an actual bagging system goes on the back. So not only will that save me room, both in my garage, in my trailer, on my setup, because like I said, that is 7 feet from the hitch all the way back to the back. So there's 7 feet right there that takes up. Yeah, you can fold it up and hang it up inside the trailer and everything else, but then that's more time taking it apart and putting it together. Plus, the other downside of that's more running cost. You know, I have more fuel and wear and tear on a motor that I have to deal with, as opposed to a bagging system. I can just put it on and go and be good. So this will be high on my list of things to get rid of eventually this year. Now, as you guys know, as of right now, I am planning on keeping this 60-inch X-Mark radius for now. Maybe at the end of this year, it might get traded in for maybe a smaller one. We're really going to see what happens this year. Since I've restructured my business and basically started over, I don't know if I'm going to do any larger properties this year like I did this past year. For my first year, I did a lot, like I had said. I might not necessarily need a 60-inch mower. I might actually maybe trade it in and get like a 52-inch mower or something like that. Or I would rather keep it on the bigger side, but you know, that's 8 extra inches of a big-ass mower that I don't need, plus the extra weight of putting it on a yard that I don't want it to have. Now, as for my aeration and dethatching, you guys know I have just a pull-behind dethatcher and pull-behind aerator, and I actually use these quite a lot. I've actually made a lot of money during the aeration and dethatching season with them, to where they've actually paid for themselves already. However, this falls into my more efficient thing. There's far more better efficient setups to where I could run with aeration and dethatching and get it done quicker, and I could take on even more jobs. You know, this past year I was limited to X amount of number of jobs a day. Let's just say, throw out a number, say I was only limited to 5 jobs a day because of the time it takes me to set up and load up and everything and get going, as opposed to what I'm gonna replace it with. So I was already talking to some of you guys about it. I'm planning on replacing it with the front mount dethatcher and front mount aerator. For those of you that don't know what a front mount aerator and dethatcher is, it literally mounts to the front of your mower and it does what it needs to do here. Now, as for a dethatcher, it would dethatch, and that's where the bagging system would come in handy, because I could dethatch and collect in one go, instead of the way I was doing, where I would go around the whole yard and dethatch, and then I put my accelerator grass catcher on it, or even use the cyclone rake and have to go around it 1 or 2 more times again, and have to constantly keep dumping it and everything else like that. So that took a lot of time. Dethatching took the most time out of everything. Of course, with the pull-behind aerator, I had to go over things several times, and it was kind of a pain to back that in between trees and landscaping and stuff. So the front mount aerator will really help out with that. So the only problem with the front mount aerator is it is very expensive. So I don't think I'm ready to make that expense yet, but I will be buying the front mount dethatcher very soon. As for my handheld equipment, I'm actually pretty well set up with my blower. You know, I have the little 2520 and my 770T. I'm pretty good with what I have there. I mainly run the 2520 for my smaller residentials, and my 770 is for leaf cleanups. And sometimes I would use it at my apartment complex because there was a lot of blowing needed to be done. So if like the grass got super thick, I would actually just use this because of how strong it was. Now, my plan is to actually add another one of these into the fleet, but as you guys may have seen in my leaf cleanup video, I'm planning on getting whatever the biggest and baddest leaf blower is by next season. As of right now, it's the PB 9010 or whatever. Right now I'm probably going to buy that before next leaf season, to where I'll have 2 main backpack blowers for my leaf cleanup, as well as I would like to buy an extra 2520, just so I have for like all your normal residential properties, and I have one backup. Now, as far as trimmers go, you guys know, well, actually you guys don't know yet, unless you follow me on Instagram, but I did buy another trimmer. So go check me out on Instagram at John's Daily Hustle if you guys want to see what that is before the video gets put out, which it should be coming real soon. But I did buy another trimmer, and that's going to be my main trimmer that I run. As you guys can see, it just might be Echo. I have my my PAS 225 system up there. So what I'm going to do is my PAS system is going to run my edger attachment that I have on it, and that's pretty much going to be my main edger. I'm also going to keep, you know, the weed eater attachment in my truck to where it is a spare weed eater at least, if needed, or if I want to run 2 weed eaters. As well as I do have somewhere laying around here, I do have the brush cutter attachment I'm going to keep with me. So my PAS 225 will be the brush cutter and edger and a backup weed eater if needed. Now this trimmer is going to become my main trimmer. I will give you guys a hint on what it is. It is lighter by just maybe, what, a pound or 2 than that one, but it has equal amount of power, hint, hint. But I'll get into what that is probably in a video you guys are going to see real soon. So I should be pretty good on just running these 2. I have my main edger and a weed eater. Now I do have the backup still here that I might be selling. We'll possibly see. It's that FS66. I'm probably going to sell it, especially now since I have a backup weed eater up there. I don't necessarily need that one anymore. So we'll see how that setup runs with my main edger and my main weed eater. We'll see how that goes, having the 2 separate ones, or who knows, maybe I might not even need the edger to begin with. But it's going to be nice because I do plan on getting the actual hedge trimmer attachment for the PAS. So I'm always going to have at least one PAS attachment. Going into the following season, since I'm restructuring after this 2021 season, going into the 2022 season, if I even still do lawn care then, I do plan on possibly seeing if I need to upgrade and have a more powerful weed eater than what I have right here, just for like brush cutting and stuff like that. But again, that's going to come down to if I even really do a lot of it then. So to sum up this catastrophe that I have here a little bit, maybe not quite catastrophe, but you know, a little bit of an unorganized, pretty full garage here. To sum up what I'm going to do for this coming up season, I'm going to be getting rid of everything except for that mower as of right now. So I'm going to mainly run this mower as my main mower, and I'm going to buy either the Toro 30, X-Mark 30, or Cub Cadet 33-inch mower to where I can, and to replace this one and that one, to where I can run mainly my bag, you know, I can collect it, I can mulch it, and I can side discharge it if need be. And it's perfect because it'll fit in the smaller gates, and it's fast enough, and I actually like this one better. I know eventually I'm going to need a backup mower of some kind, so we'll see what ends up happening about needing a backup mower. And of course, with me possibly keeping that one for this next year, I'm going to get the bagging system for it to where I can collect grass and leaves easier and not have to deal with this. So then the next thing I'm going to get is the extra backpack blower, like I said, the 9010 or whatever. Maybe I might even run just an 8010 or another 770, who knows. But I do plan on getting a second backpack blower for sure. And of course, I'll be getting rid of the aerator and dethatcher and replacing it with a front mount aerator and dethatcher eventually. I haven't ruled out getting an actual one of those walk behind aerators. They are a pain in the ass, but they are nice because they fit inside like the smaller gates and stuff like that. And for like the really small yards where you don't necessarily want to be taking a big mower on, they are nice to have. So if I can find one for the right price in the right place, I might actually go buy it. But around here, they sell for pretty high price, even in bad condition here in my area. At least the cheapest I found, and a walk behind aerator is like $2,200. And to me, that's just not worth buying just yet. So just be ready to see lots of equipment changes and lots of things happen here with my channel over the next couple of months, especially as the season starts to get closer. And we'll see how this season goes. You know, with my restructuring and me running the equipment that I'm looking at getting, we'll see how well it works for me. I do believe with my experience I had this year that it will benefit me a lot to have all the equipment that I just said. But of course, this first season will tell, and then I'll really be able to see what I'm going to do going into the following season after that. You know, this is only my second season, and I've only been, 6 months full time since June or whatever it was. So I still got a lot to learn, and I know that. So especially when it comes to equipment and what's going to work right for me. There was a few things and a few pieces of equipment that I didn't mention in this video that I am getting. I may already have. You guys just have to stick around and watch and see what happens. Some of you guys may already know what I'm looking at getting. Some of you guys may already know what I've already got that I'm not telling you yet. So be sure to subscribe because you don't want to miss out. I've got lots of good content coming. I know this video might have been a little boring as I'm just kind of talking and walking around my garage, and I'm sorry for that. I just want to update you guys and let you guys know where I'm going with my business and what I'm doing. As you guys know, like I had said in the last video, I am restructuring my business. So this is part of that restructure. I want to be more efficient. If you guys have any advice on this setup that I'm looking at getting, or maybe you guys don't agree with what I'm doing and you think I should do something else, comment below. I would like to see and hear your side of the story or hear your advice on it. As I said, I'm always open for learning. As well as I'm not completely set on a certain set of equipment, or the equipment that I said I'm looking at getting, I'm not dead set on it. So it may change between now and the time I do go buy it. Besides, I have all the way until March to go get it. So I've got time. So be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and thanks for watching, guys.